This is going to be the only build you need for your Gnut, whether you're early game, mid game, or late game. No matter where you want to use them, from Centranos to Hydra to any dungeon, this is it. Nothing else compares to this build. What's going on, guys? Blazing here. Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for joining me on another Raid Shadow Legends video. All right, so I want to talk about Gnut and how you guys really should be building him, because he is an enemy max HP hitter. We've been gearing him kind of wrong. I know a lot of us are putting him in savage or lethal, or some sort of ignored defense, right? Because we want to boost the damage. There's a couple of things that we need to take into account. First is, if we're bringing decreased defense and weaken on the team, the A3 is only going to be able to do so much damage. It's capped, right? So putting him in a savage set isn't really going to do a lot for the account. Now, yes, that said, if you use the A2 and the A1, his damage will increase. That is totally true. But you probably have better nukers on your account that can help you clear the waves a lot faster than what Gnut can do. That said, it is a decent set for him. But what I want to talk about is, I think the way I build him, and I do have 3 Gnuts on the account, is definitely a little better to use him almost everywhere in game. I have 3. I have 2 of them built with the same build, one that's really not built the same way, but we'll review that build too. And it really works out quite well. Everywhere from Phantom Shogun, right, helping me farm that 30-second team, all the way to Sand Devils, where I get like a 10-second team, and I can use them in Hydra no problem. So let's go through. Let me show you guys the builds, and you can let me know in the comments down below. Am I right? Am I wrong? Should I be building them in something different? Okay, so Gnut is powerful. Gnut is one of the best PvE champions out there, but he does have a weakness, and his weakness is actually his affinity. He's not void, so he is going to weak it when you take him up against magic affinity based champions. And sometimes that kind of sucks, right? Now, there are ways to resolve that issue. I mean, he's a great champion overall. He's probably one of the best PvE champions out there that you could have on your account. Just does a phenomenal work on anything. But the solution to the problem is this. All right, so we've got 3 Gnuts on the account. We have one build with lethal and perception, but this is not the one that I want to show you. This is not the one that I think you should be building. The one I think you should be building is the ones that are in these 2 sets, which is Affinity Breaker. Now, hear me out. Again, with Affinity Breaker, we're going to be able to have, a 50-50 chance of being able to not weak it, and we get a 30% increase in crit damage.
Actually, a great idea.
So we get a damage boost, and then we're able to make sure that we at least on, 50-50 shot of not being able to weak it for places like Phantom Shogun, for places like Sand Devil as we're climbing up. And the worst part is if you're trying to use him in Hydra and you weak hit on a head that is devoured somebody, you pretty much know that that champion is gone. So with this, he really actually kind of works out great. And also, a little tip with Poison Cloud, if you have yourself a Affinity Breaker set, it actually goes right through it.
Now what is that, a joke?
Right? Because it's not a weak hit anymore. You have a better chance. Real quick, I'm just going to show you the builds that I currently have. I've got mine built with 4.7, 239 speed. We've got him built with 101 crit rate and 264 crit damage. I don't need much more than this because he's not going to, with the A3, which is what I prioritize for, he's not going to do crazy damage, right? If I had 350 crit damage on him, he's still only going to do the same amount of damage. You don't need too much if you're bringing the decreased defense to weaken. So you do have to play that into account. Also, In most areas of the game, such as Fire Knight, I do have my 20% ignored defense, so that is helping, right? And you can see here, we did get some more crit damage out of that, but this was prior, you know, I focused on this prior to building my team for Gnut. Let's go back to no area selected, 332 accuracy. Now I do have some accuracy bonuses as you just saw, so 350 is ideally where you want to hit. I don't really care about I don't really care about resistance, right? The skills, you're obviously gonna book them. Now, Soul Reap seems to work the best for where we use them because of PvE content, right? Really helps out with Fire Knight, along with Spider, so it's not bad. As for Masteries, these are the ones that I use on all three of them, right? I came down, I took Giant Slayer, I took Kill Streak, I did take Bring It Down along with Cycle of Violence, Life Drinker along with Single Out. I did also take Heart of Glory, Keen Strike, and I did take Deadly Precision. And on the support tree, I only farmed the 550 Masteries. I guess I may just farm another one here. I don't know. I hate wasting scrolls. But I did take Cycle of Magic. It is a good mastery for him to take. We did take Swarm Smiter along with Charge Focus, and we did take Pinpoint Accuracy. So with this build, again, there's pretty much nothing in the game that he's not going to either hit the hardest, and even if I decide to use him on stage 20, he's still going to do a shit ton of damage, guys. It is not a build that I would shy away from, right? Like I said, I have two of them built in this, and if I had another set for Affinity Breaker, I'd probably build my third Gnut. I even have him on the alt account. I have him built in a Affinity Breaker set because I just think it's that powerful. But I guess let me show you guys why it's that powerful, right? So this is the team that I run for my Phantom Shogun. Now you're gonna see 3 Gnuts here and 1 Acrizia, right? So we'll just go right in, and you're gonna see it's a pretty fast farm. There's no problems whatsoever. I don't have to worry about the weak hits, about his counter going up. So it makes things kind of nice, right? 1, 2, 3. Now that was actually the one that did not hit, right? Or that was not built in an Affinity Breaker set. But you can see the ones in Affinity Breaker are hitting for 294 damage on their A3s, which is the max of what this guy is going to do, which is the max of what any enemy max HP hit is going to do. All right, let's go into Sand Devils next, right? Let's try that one. Granted, it's, you know, not a weak affinity stage, so we're going to do stage 22 here just to show a point. But it's going to be the same thing. We're weak affinity, right? We're going to go in. Marius hits for 3. 1, 2, 3, 235 per hit. And Soul Reap comes in for the last. Boom. So we did get 1 weak hit there out of the 3, right? Which, okay, 50-50 chance. It is what it is. But it's still much better than putting him in Savage, I feel. Because Savage would have just given us the weak hit no matter what. Alright, well, will this actually work for me on Fire Knight? Will it work anywhere else? Let's go into Dragon, right? I use him for Dragon 10, right? Let's see here. We find the right team first. Okay, so now that I figured that I had actually deleted the team for some reason, I don't know why, we're back with it. We got the 2 Gnuts that are in Affinity Breaker, Kymar and Mithrala, along with Seer. Obviously, she's a 6-star Ascended. It makes most sense. But here we go. We've got everything going out over here. Boom, wave 1. Again, I don't farm stage 7. This is more just to showcase that, you know, Affinity Breaker does work. Poor Seer did not take that single champion down. I don't know why. Maybe it might help me with the reset on the Gnuts. There we go. All right. So on the Dragon, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We got 2 regular hits. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Reset. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And boom. Not the fastest run, but again, it makes sense to put him in Affinity Breaker because even on the off stage right here, we actually had no problem taking it down. Now, again, let me show you guys Fire Knight. Now, Fire Knight, this isn't really going to be, you know, for stage 10, which is what most of us are farming, or, you know, what you should be or trying to get up the farm. It's still going to work the same thing, right? I'm still using my double Gnuts that are both built in Affinity Breaker. The damage is no different. The time is no different. To be quite honest, I want to say I think it's probably a little bit faster. I don't know why. Maybe I changed something different, but it doesn't really take anything different. It's still been like a 24, 23 turn. The only thing, again, I might be missing is a little bit of the damage on the waves, but I mean, how much more? Oh, look at this. We're 16 turns in, and we'll be, yeah, I want to say I think the boss is going to die. I think it's 24 or 26 turns, something like that, which is still phenomenal. There we go. 12 turn, 12 shields left. So it's still working perfectly fine on Fire Knight, right? No problems. Go ahead, I reset. This one seems to be taking a little bit longer, which is, it is what it is. It's fine. We're not, 1 or 2 turns isn't really gonna, you know, hurt us. But there we go, minute 15 seconds. So it's still, it doesn't add any more time onto my dungeon run, right? This isn't a full out team, guys. Don't worry. This is just a showcase why you really want them in Affinity Breaker, right? Now, at the starting rotation here, we've got the Decay Head, one of the most annoying heads, and we want to try to get it out as early as possible. But bringing in Gnut because we're on Nightmare Hydra is not really going to work out well for us because he's off Affinity. So chances are, especially if this head had swallowed somebody, we'd be SOL'd, right? So let's go ahead. Let's put the decreased defense and weaken out because, you know, we have it. You can bring in your Lydia in that manner. We'll put the increased defense up. We'll put some block damage up. Okay. So here, weak Affinity, right? 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. 381 per. We've got him down to 70%. One more time. 381 per hit. Now we've got him down to 30. You can see here that, again, building him in this set, maybe the A1 and the A2 isn't going to smack as hard as we want them, but the big money shot hit that is going to save us is definitely going to be the one that shines the most here, right? So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think, like I said, this is probably the best build for Gnut. I never really was a fan of Affinity Breaker, but you know, there's a unique individual out there that kind of pushed it onto me. I'm sure you'll see his name in the comments down below. And it was Bob. It was Bob. You know, that really pushed this kind of Affinity Breaker on me. And I was like, nah, Affinity Breaker is always really bad. It's only a 50-50. Like, Savage is better. And I've honestly really grown to love building him in Affinity Breaker. I think it's his #1 set. You definitely could build him with Savage and Lethal. But honestly, I think those gear sets should be more tailored to champions that you're using, you know, that don't have an enemy max HP, that maybe you're using in Arena or somewhere else. That said, if you enjoyed the video, guys, make sure you smash that like button up. Consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know if you want more guides like this where we just showcase them based on their best gear sets, and where you want to see them showcased, right? If you've got some time, make sure to stop by on Sunday for the Knights of Teleria podcast, 2 p.m. EST, where we talk everything Raid Shadow Legends. We talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. We talk, you know, sometimes Plarium hits it out of the park with some things they do, and sometimes they're just like, yeah, we don't know. That's it, guys. Much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other, and I'll catch you guys next time.